Yeah, good morning and welcome back to Zion Vendetta TV. Today, as you can tell by the title, I want to get into something that I felt most Americans probably weren't paying attention to. And it's something that's prevalent on TikTok at this moment. And of course, you know, me being me, I had to go do my research and to find out that it was actually true. And what I'm talking about is the bill that was passed that pretty much mandates the United States of America to pay Israel a certain sum of money a year, or as far as I know, a year, because the number that they said would be ludicrous to be paying every month, which, I mean, it wouldn't be far-fetched to think that Israel would actually ask for that sort of money, that amount of money a month, which would make no sense. Now, don't get me wrong. If this was coming out the pockets of the average politician that is secretly millionaires and the ones that support their parties, if they were paying for it, that would be different. That's a choice as a human being to look out for the well-being of Israel, which is funny because Israel is not looking out for the well-beings of America. They could say that they're the spearhead or whatever they like to use in the Middle East, but they're not. They're the most hated nation, or supposed nation, because that's what they like to claim, but they're not a nation. They're basically usurpers that are laying claim to something that they have no right to lay claim to. But I'm not so much worried about their politics over there. I don't like the fact of the genocide, but I don't pay too much attention to what's going on with Israel, because it's Israel, and Israel continues to do what they do without fear of consequence. And the reason they don't fear consequence is because the United States allows them to spank them every chance they get. Like, there's always something, some type of lobbyist that's they got one party in particular. It's not even a party, but it's one particular organization, you know what I mean, that likes to pay the United States a certain amount of money in order to get certain things passed, like this bill in particular. Now, the party, I don't want to say the wrong one, so I'm just gonna refrain from saying it. If you need me to get the proper name for it, just put it down in the comments and drop a like. That's all I'm asking for. It allows me to push more videos out. Not that this channel is monetized at this time, but it allows me to put videos out, you know what I mean, and get somewhere. I'll say it allows me to grow in the algorithm, you know what I mean. But yeah, the United States of Israel, and a lot of people are saying that it's simply for the fact that not only do they got a stranglehold on our tax money, because that's what's paying for them to live free of charge. And let me slow down, because formulating these thoughts is sometimes beyond me. But so basically, in this country, they're taking away Section 8, which there's a lot of people that shouldn't have Section 8, but that's not on me to determine who. But it's like you see it all the time. Like right now, they're getting rid of all these different benefits that they feel that the average American is not the average American that's not in a position to where they're making enough money to actually take care of themselves. Because I mean, let's be honest, you can get a pay raise, you can get this, you can get that, but you're still struggling to pay rent. You can have one job and still not be able to pay for anywhere to lay your head, because the way the U.S. is set up now, you got all these millionaires and all this grabbing and vying for the who can make the most money off the poor. And don't get me wrong, like, I'm not on here to like blame anybody particular outside of the government, because it's not only, I know a lot of people are gonna get on here and be like, oh, it's Trump's doing. Trump is not the only one that deals with Israel. You have multiple politicians that are in Israel's pocket, and that's not even allegedly. They're just in Israel's pocket because Israel is backing them because it fits their agenda. Anybody that's going to turn a blind eye to Palestine and the atrocity that's taking place out there are automatically going to be on the radar of Israel. Anybody that feels as a shred of sympathy for Israel, as if they're not the aggressors, these people are going to focus on it, and they're going to put their money behind it because they know these are the cats that are going to keep them in a position to win. And that's basically what we're doing. You take away all these benefits from the American citizens that may be suffering certain hardships due to loss of this, loss of that, maybe a family member, you know what I mean, something happened and they're not able to function at full capacity like they used to because, you know, it's hardships and other things of that nature. But they'll take away all these programs, the vets that have been serving this country and have lost limbs and lost lives and people's families that have to deal with the fact that their sons and uncles and cousins and whatever went off to war and lost their life. They're taking all this they don't want to do for them, and they don't want to do for the homeless, and they don't want to help out the people that just need a little helping hand, but yet they'll make us give all our money to Israel because for some reason you don't work over here, you don't get these benefits, but yet you'll have a whole country of fools doing nothing outside of participating in the military because it's a glorified you know, I ain't gonna even go into that, but basically we'll pay these people money so they can live, and we're paying for their rent and their food and everything else, and they're not even working. That's just it's crazy to think that the United States have failed to them levels of disparity, and people may look at this video and be like, oh, that doesn't necessarily affect us, but it does, because you can only give so much money. The United States is in a major debt. Like, they have so much money that they had to pay back, and how can you pay back money when you're constantly relegating money from here, taking from the American citizens and giving to a country that really don't give two about the U.S. They don't care about the U.S. That's why they feel like they can do what they want. They bomb, they do all these genocidal I don't know, I can't even pick the proper word for it right now, but they do all this in the hopes of taking something that don't belong to them and never has belonged to them. They'll come up with this lie that, oh, well, it was promised to us by God. If that's the case, then you should have had it a long time ago. You were supposed to continue being nomads. You messed up, and that's why you got punished. But to assume that you are the chosen and have the right to take a land that don't belong to you, it's funny. And I know a lot of you try to get on here and justify the means, but it's just weird. Like, but you'll have criticism for the U.S. wanting to take this or take that. Like, you just got to make it make sense. But I'm not going to talk too long on this. I'm just going to say like this. We've already been sold out. They already control our money. And, you know, the people that are in power in order to control our money, they're all the same people. These people have literally took our country and monopolized absolutely everything. Even the people that you assume that got all this money that you consider to be in power they're not in power. They don't run nothing. These dudes run everything, and they're running circles around. And if you don't follow their agenda, you're punished. You see in Hollywood, you see in all music, you see in all these different things. I'm sure even on videos on YouTube, these people control everything, and they're going to continue to step on people that are not them. You've seen videos of these people outright saying that they're the chosen, so nobody should be able to tell them anything. Not even God. Like, blasphemy. But, you know, that's why I say the United States have sold out to these fools a long time ago. And there's another video I wanted to get into, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut this one short and talk on this other one right after this. But anyways, man, pay attention. Don't fall for what's going on in the news that's basically taking your attention off these laws being passed. Pay attention to them, because these little things, these little moments of you know, something erupt right here, but yeah, there was a shooting over here, but what's going on over here? Like, you have to You have to think beyond just the media, that splash of news that comes up here, like you're so focused on it. What else is taking place in the world? A lot of people ain't talking about Thailand and the war they got going on with Cambodia. There's so many things that's, you know, to keep you from focusing on what's really happening, especially when it comes to the United States. You got to wake up. Anyways, Zod Vendetta TV. Sorry if I talked too long and went off point, but I just, you know, formulating thoughts sometimes it's not necessarily my strong suit. With that being said, you enjoy the remainder of your day, and I'm gone.